Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Natasya Humairah. My SIN is 12010423792. My field supervisor is Mem Nurdiana MPD. Okay, I want to explain about my proposal. By the title, The Effect of Watching English Movie with English Subtitle on the Student Speaking Ability of Class 10th MR DINIYAH PUTRI PEKANBARU. In the first background, with the evidence of technology available, the ability or desire of students to learn to speak English is reduced. According to Richards and Smith, 2010, speaking proficiency is to interact verbally to build good communication relationship. From the previous result that the researcher did, the ability of the student to speak English in the class 10 MR Diniyah Putri Pekanbaru is very low, either the year now or the year before. From the previous result, there is teacher have done some ways like using English song, games, and so on. So here the researcher want to use the new media to improve the speaking ability of the 10 first student Diniyah Putri Pekanbaru by using English movie with English subtitle. Identification of the problems. Based on the explanation, the researcher identified the problem. First, why did students have lack of interest in speaking English? Second, why did not many students understand the teacher delivery? Third, what makes students slow in accepting the English learning material? Limitation of the problem. From the researcher explanation above, the researcher limit the problem to be carried out, namely that this research only focus on watching English movie on the speaking ability in high school students. Formulation of the problem. First, how are students' speaking ability touched by watching English movie with English subtitle on the student speaking ability of class 10 MR Diniyah Putri Pekanbaru? Second, how are the students' speaking ability without touch by watching English movie with English subtitle on the student speaking ability of class 10 MR Diniyah Putri Pekanbaru? Third, is there any significance between student speaking ability touched by watching English movie and without English movie? Fourth, is there any significant effect of watching English movie with English subtitle on the student speaking ability? Research objective. First, to investigate the student speaking ability touched by watching English movie with English subtitle on the student speaking ability at MR Diniyah Putri Pekanbaru. Second, to investigate the student speaking ability without touch by watching English movie with English subtitle on the student speaking ability at MR Diniyah Putri. Third, to investigate is there any significant difference between student speaking ability touched by watching English movie with English subtitle and without touch by watching English movie with English subtitle on the student speaking ability at MR Diniyah Putri. Four, to investigate the effect student speaking ability touched by watching English movie with English subtitle on the student speaking ability at MR Diniyah Putri Pekanbaru. The significance of the research. Theoretical, the result of this research will provide several benefits for the future researcher as well as for developing reference and empirical evidence. Two, practical, researcher, teacher, student, and university. Definition of terms. English movie by Michael Rebiger 2009. Louis Giannetti is a movie expert and writer. And then a definition of speaking ability by McDonald's and Shaw 2003. And then Novikat and Wilzinska, 2011. And then English subtitle by Agnieszka Zarkowska, who is audiovisual translation and expert. Shuttlecovi, uh, 1997. Relevant research by Furi Megawati and Ermawati Nura, 2018. And the second Yasser Ibrahimi and Parisa Bezi, 2016. And the third Iku Sumawati, 2019. Operational concept in this research designed into two variables. First variable X is watching English movie with English subtitle, and a second variable Y is speaking ability. Research method. First research design. I use a quantitative design. According to Kurzweil, 2002, quantitative research involves collecting, evaluating, interpreting, and summarizing. In this research, researchers use a quasi-experimental method defined by Kurzweil 2012 as an experimental design performed without randomization. And the second allocation, MA Diniyah Putri Pekanbaru, the subject of the research class 10 of MA Diniyah Putri, and object of this research is student speaking ability in learning English. Population and sample. The population is of this research took class Jasmine and Kozama. Data collecting and technique. In this research, researcher will use a speaking test to see students' speaking ability, pre-test, treatment, and post-test. Data analysis. In this research, several assessment steps were also followed in data analysis, independent sample test, and using effect size. Thank you. Maybe from my explanation about my proposal, I'm so sorry for my mistake. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.